So for people who are starting out, the fundamental problem with everyone who's starting out is that they're thinking that there's one question they can ask that's going to make them money. And that's not the truth, because there's not one skill that will make you money. It's learning how to write headlines. It's learning how to write copy. It's learning how to make creative, learning how to make videos, it's learning how to make landing pages that convert, learning how to build an opt-in page, learning how to build a text and follow-up sequence. Like those are all learning how to link all those together, learn how to place the ad on a traffic platform, learning the different nuances between Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and whatever, TikTok, who cares, right? So there's a lot of mini skills that encompass marketing. And that's why guys who are starting out are like, man, I bought this course on copywriting, I didn't make any more money. I was like, well, yeah, you don't know how to place an ad. You don't know how to build a landing page. You don't know how to make an offer. You don't know how to stack value. You don't have that yet, right? You have to have all those things. And unfortunately, people who are starting out mistake making $0 as a lack of progress. But the reality is that you have a lot of steps that are underground that you have to step up below ground zero. The moment you make your first dollar that goes over the bridge from you marketing and selling, the second dollar comes right afterwards. It's not as hard to go from $0 to $1 as it from $1 to $2. But the point is, if you work for 16 hours a day, like you will have enough money to buy the things that you want to level up your skill set. But your investment, in my opinion, I think you should be consistently investing in skills until you can't even find somewhere to put the money to invest in more skills. Unless you're making $100,000 a month take home, at that point is maybe when I would maybe consider not spending as much on it, but still, like, it's just hard to spend $100,000 a month in education, to be honest with you. Like, but if I see something, I buy it instantly. And when it was in the beginning of my career, it might've been half of my paycheck or 100% of my paycheck was going towards learning how to market, learning how to sell, because everything, at least for me, is sequential. So you have to solve your first problem. I don't have customers. Well, I need to learn how to get demand. I need to generate demand. And then you're like, well, shit, how do I get them to show up for these appointments? And then you learn how to nurture leads. And then, shoot, these people are showing up for their appointments. I don't know how to sell. Then you learn how to sell. And then you're like, well, shit, what am I selling? Obviously, you should have some idea what you're selling before you start, but typically you can sell services. You can sell information or services, both cost zero money to start. And I think that those are the best businesses to start for people who are starting out, because they don't require capital to get going. It just requires knowledge, and knowledge is easy to attain. And a lot of knowledge you can get for very little money. You can go on Udemy, you can go on YouTube, and you can Google right now how to run Facebook ads. It's not Google how to run Facebook ads. You'll learn how to run Facebook ads, how to build a landing page. Now, that being said, sure, there are people who aren't. And so my belief is that most people are not intrinsically bad. I don't think people have bad intentions. There are some people who are better at teaching than others, and I will 100% give you that. There's some courses that don't do a good job at teaching the thing. That's usually not the intention of the person. It's probably an earlier on entrepreneur. It's just not as good, right? Just being real. And so I think that the best way to do this, if I'm looking at if I'm starting out, where am I going to invest my money? I'm going to look at the most proven business, the one that has the most reviews, the most 5 stars, whatever. I'm going to look at that business and I'm going to say, okay, this many people got results with this. There must be enough here that if I work it, it will work, right? If someone's got no reviews, then I probably wouldn't load there. They've got two, if you get on the phone with someone, they're like, well, I've got 2 customers. Like, maybe because you have the option. You can go to someone who's got 100. You can go to someone who's got 500. So go to the people who already have proven it out and go. Now, one of the hacks that I've had in my life is that when I really want to acquire a skill, I pay for one-on-one training. So this is earlier on, this is when I had my gyms. I learned enough about Facebook ads I learned enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be like an expert. I learned enough to get the job done. But I knew that I needed to level up my skill set. So I walked around or asked people, I said, who are the best guys? And one guy came up, and so I called him up, I said, hey man, like, I need to learn Facebook ads. And he's like, well, he's like, I've got a course. And I was like, no, I don't want to go through your course. I want you to teach me how to run these ads for my gym the way you would run them. And he was like, well, I don't do that. I'm like, it's America. Everyone's got a price. What is it? Right? What would it take for you to one-on-one with me? He said $750 a week. And I said, done. Like, why didn't you just say that? Right? And so one of the big beliefs that I have, even in the gym space, is you should always have a one-on-one price because someone is willing to pay it. Right? And make it a price that you'd be actually happy to say yes to. Like, I still sell personal training services for $500,000 an hour. you want to come to my house? I'll train you $500,000 an hour all day long. I'll do it. No problem. Right? I have that price. Most people aren't willing to do that because there's an alternative solution that's just about as good for probably 100,000th of that. But the point remains that if you can, you'll much more rapidly learn. And that person in a one-on-one setting will be forced to cater the context of the content to what you're looking for. And so I was like, I don't want to generalize. I was like, I want you to teach me how you would run my ads for my gym. And then he showed me. And I was like, great, now I know how to do this.